This video is for my fellow Girl Scout enthusiasts. Tonight, I get to guest lead as a registered volunteer my daughter's fifth grade Girl Scout junior troop, and they are going to be earning their entertainment technology badge. So I was like, what better use is there of AI? So I'm going to do a quick overview, and then the back end of this video is going to be all the videos as I was working through it. So just for the quick down and dirty, so you can see if you want to watch the other longer stuff. I started here in Gemini and I built a gem just to organize my thoughts here. And it really started with this brainstorming session in which I let Gemini know what I was working on. And it was so on board with this. And it gave me some ideas to go through. And then I really had to use it as a just thought partner in okay, I had these ideas, or this worked and this didn't. I can't get this thing to work. And it would help give me additional ideas. And then at the end, I got these nice checklists. Like Gemini made these, put them in Google Keep for me, and I'm able to print them out. So a packing checklist to make sure I don't forget anything in all the chaos. A lesson plan. This is huge for me. Usually I do these minute by minute to make sure we're on track. But I went ahead and did the math for me. And then, of course, I need to go through and double check that it makes sense. Is that a reasonable amount of time? And then, to make sure I don't look like a fool, this tech narrative script in which it has just the words to go through in case I forget, like Gauss gun, regularly forget that one, but that's that magnetic launcher to set roller coasters off. So what the girls are going to do tonight, they're going to work through animation art. They're going to make a flip book, which I'll go back and I'll show you what back to Gemini, and I'll go back to this badge. And we worked through creating these figures and it was okay. And later in the video, you'll see my frustration, but why go Google search videos when AI will just make it in the format that is easy to print out? So that was really awesome. And then we'll talk about sound waves, and then we'll get into that amusement park stuff with my magnets to build that magnetic launcher. And then I got to code, and I used Claude Code to create a video game. And so this, it won't show because, right, you clear your context and all that. But we went back and forth and built a code starting with Python, and then it had to go into JavaScript because that's what you use video games for. And so it runs here locally on my computer. The girls are going to be able to change some of the configurations, like the title of the game, how many cookies it takes to catch to win, or what your goal is, and then the different colors. They'll be able to do that. And then something I'm excited to show the girls is colors aren't the same for a computer as they are for us, right? This is how colors look to a computer. This is how you put them in. So they're going to be able to copy and paste these over to change the colors. And then also, because I love emojis, they can change any of the characters. So I'll show you all this. Oh, I already lost once. So simple, nothing crazy. We're not getting crazy here, but still the girls get to experience it. So they got to catch the cookies, and you can see their goal going up. And if they catch 50 cookies, which I'm not going to do here in front of you, they win. But if they lose, each time they get hit by a raindrop, they lose cookies. Oh, and then if their booth gets rained out and they have to try again. So that's really exciting. The girls will be able to change some of that stuff. The girls had their meeting last night and it went really well. As my fellow volunteers know, you never really know what's going to hit with these girls. Things that you think will be super exciting or kind of drab, or things that you think nothing of, they'll get really excited about. Like magnets. Oh my goodness, kids love magnets. But even better was ending with updating their video game. So one girl in particular, she was not super interested, kind of participating the whole time, but she turned on when we got to getting on the computer and typing things out. So I just want to share with you the girls' game. It is at cookie-catcher-aipenguincrew.pythonanywhere.com. And you can play for as long as I'm paying for this website. So get out there and check it out. Here it is. and the girls picked the colors and they picked the panda because that was the cookie mascot last year. And they love rainbows. And then against me and the other volunteers' preferences, they picked spiders, but it's their game. So there we go. And I've had somebody ask me, like, how much more efficient is AI making you? Well, I I'm so much better. I would have never created this game for the girls had I not had the help of AI, particularly Claude Code. And then just the thought process of working through like what I want to do using a large language model as a thought partner is really useful. And then it can generate those images that I showed you earlier that is just so much easier than Googling it. And then I don't run into copyright infringement issues. So I hope this was helpful and keep watching if you want to see more of the detailed in process work. This week, my daughter's Girl Scout troop leader needs some help. So, as a registered volunteer, I get to lead the troop through earning one of their badges. So, looking at what the girls' interests are and what my interests are, I picked entertainment technology badge. And I was brainstorming this last night. And as I was doing it, I was like, this is a perfect thing to share with others, just to give you ideas on how to's of just making these lessons even more interesting. There's a ton of YouTube videos out there. This will just be another one of them. So the entertainment technology badge, the steps are to animate your own artwork, dig into video game development, try the science of amusement park rides, create your own special effects, and surf a sound wave. And the purpose is when they've earned the badge, they'll know the science behind the world of entertainment. So we'll move that aside. And to start my brainstorming, I'm going to go to Gemini. Now, I said I started this last night. This conversation I'm about to have with Gemini is pretty much the same as the conversation I had last night. So I'm going to create a gem because I have found that when I start conversations, the list of individual conversations over here just gets really lengthy because I use large language models a lot. And then I start to lose them. And so if we get to the point that the context gets overwhelmed and I just have to start a new conversation, all of my conversations that relate to this lesson will just be in this same gem. So, Girl Scout lesson. That's enough of a description. I don't need another one. I am not going to put in custom instructions. I could if I wanted to think through this, but I'm just going to show you how easy this is. So I'm going to leave that blank, and that's okay. If I wanted to, for knowledge, I could load those Girl Scout instructions, these that I showed you earlier, but I've already seen them. I have a pretty good idea. I've created a lot of lessons in the past, so I feel pretty comfortable going through this and using Gemini as my thought partner. So I'm going to hit save. Now, the only thing custom about this gem is the title and the fact that all my conversations are going to be grouped together. So I've also reordered, because I've thought through this already, when I want to do those steps. So here we go. I need you to be my creative assistant, creating a lesson for 5th grade Girl Scouts. They're earning their entertainment technology badge. And the steps are animation, creating your own special effects, surfing the sound wave, amusement park rides, and creating a video game. Now, I'm pretty excited about this. I'm thinking for animation, we do a flip book. And then for special effects, we create sound effects that match those flip books. So I already have a list of what I want to do. But for example, like if the flip book shows a horse trotting, then our sound effect is going to be the sound of those horse hooves. And then for amusement park rides, I've ordered some magnets. So we definitely want to do a catapult. And then we're going to look at like flying saucer and Ferris wheel. That's where I really am going to need some help. And then for the video game, we're going to turn to Claude Code and try to create our own video game. That's probably the most difficult part of this. So we'll see how that goes. Do you have any questions before we start brainstorming? Just to clarify, this is really my work. I just need you as a sounding board and creative assistant to help me work through maybe some places where I lack the technological know-how. But really, it's me creating this and you're assisting me. So we're going to go step by step. Again, any questions? Okay. So when I've done this before, Gemini has been like, oh yeah, it wants to be super helpful and and give me the whole plan. Like, no, man, like I actually know what I'm doing. It's just good to get a little more help. So, um, I'm glad Gemini is also on board with this. um, okay, before they dig into brainstorming, have some questions. And as I look through these, so it's really just checking what we're doing. So I am going to save you the time of watching a video. I'm just going to go step by step with it. I'm going to turn the recording off, and then I will come back and show you the results of some of our conversations. And really, it's just a back and forth conversation, and I'll let you know if at some point I get angry with Gemini and have to like close the context window. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. And I did get angry and have to close out the context window, but I'm going to walk through that with you. So here we have that brainstorming session that I had. And I was like, hey, yeah, go ahead and make me a picture. And I even clicked on tools and did create an image, but this has happened before where it doesn't like to create an image after you've already talked about it for a while. So I took this description of the images, and I'm sorry, when I'm talking about images, I'm talking about creating those flip books. And I copied it I went back up to my gem and I went here to create an image. I want to show you what it first gave me. So as I said before, your previous conversations will be stored here. What I failed to remember is it only shows the 3 most recent. So I do need to go back here, and I changed my naming convention. So here's our failed flip book. When I just took those instructions, I think it was a little bit too much for it to handle, and it didn't create like the horse, and it did like dotted legs so the girls would know where to put the legs, but it still included the legs. And then same, like you see this weirdness with the girl, and sometimes she has an arm and sometimes not, and it's only partial. So what we were, and then only did 2 pages instead of 4. So what we're trying to get to here with this flip book is that the girls have a baseline image and they only have to add the moving parts, because if you've led a troop and you have limited time, like you don't want it to be overcomplicated unless you're trying to waste time. But we're trying to jam a lot of interesting stuff. So we want to kind of get rid of the mundane and just have them add the moving parts. So once I realized that was failed, I decided to go one by one. So I was able to create this horse image, which this is what I wanted, where it's the legs, and then each image only has the dotted lines where it shows like the connection of the legs, and the girls will be able to watch, draw the moving parts. This is the failed bird. And so this is on me to fail. Like I can't blame AI. That's the 2024 excuse, is blaming the AI. No, wait, this is what it first gave me. A flying bird on a branch. Like, you ain't gonna make that look like it's flying. That's silly. But where I failed to see was the instructions that it gave before. We'll look over here, featuring a simple black and white line art of a small perched bird. I completely missed that. And so here I got what I asked for. So then I was like, oh no, show it flying. But then it included the wings and all of it. I was like, stop, just stop, start a new one. So then I created another one. And here I got this is merely okay, but we're going to roll with it. And then I saved the very last one to do with you. So I'm going to go back to the failed flip book because I updated these instructions. And I'm going to go down to my last description that AI created, that Gemini created. I'm going to copy these instructions. And I'm going to show you, I just created this Word document where I figured out what I wanted the baseline to be. And I just paste the horse specific things in here. Now I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to go back over to my gem that I've created. And now I'm realizing I really don't have to have that, but I'm rolling with it. Create an image so that it's using Nano Banana. And I hit paste. And these are my instructions that I'm creating a flip book. And they're going to do the moving parts. So do a portrait. You got to get specific with that thing or it'll get confused. And simple line art, initially it wanted like hills, but then that's going to change your perspective. Like she's walking, but going nowhere. So it's like just a simple horizon. I had to update that. So we're going to have a girl walking, and let's see what happens. We're on create image, go. And so here you can see that it's using its tool, Nano Banana, which is what creates the images. And I like the way that Claude organizes better. I'm not limited to I'm able to just find my old chats much easier. But Gemini has the ability to create the images. It does a far superior job than the rest. Okay, so here you have the girl, didn't follow instructions. I'll show you what it does if I try to correct it. So here's the girl, and then it does this weird stuff, right? Like no arms. So I will show you what happens. Do not draw any arms or legs on images 2 through 6. Also remove the trees and hills from the background. Just a single horizontal line for the horizon. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's gonna get stuck and give me the exact same image because that's what happens. So if you ever feel this pain, it's real. Just open a new context window. That oh my gosh. Oh, it's trying to reason like this. No, we ain't got time for that. So we're going to start over. Oops. I'm going to copy my prompt. I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to paste it in here. Okay. So it is, I'm creating flipbook templates for my Girl Scouts. They'll have the base images and just add the moving parts. Please create a single page with portrait orientation containing 6 images, 3 rows, 2 columns, black and white, line art. The background of all 6 images is the same, simple line art landscape for the horizon. No hills or trees. Okay. So I can see now where we doubled up on things. So I'll just delete this. The art is simple black and white line art. Top left is full side profile. And then in here, originally it had front leg forward, front arm forward. Like that doesn't make sense. So I had to correct that. Head bundled, body, torso, hat and scarf are present, hovering above the snow. Only dotted circles. And where I don't think the girls will need the dotted lines. Do not include legs or arms. Body only. Let's see how this goes. Create image. Okay, while it's doing that, also in my brainstorming session, I talked about the noises I wanted to use. So that campfire, we're going to crinkle a bag to make like a crinkling sound. And let me address this real quick. Okay, my fight's over. We're just going to have the girls draw moving legs. I don't care enough. I could really fight this and really focus in my prompting, but that's good enough because we're going to get to way more fun stuff. So anyway, back to my brainstorming session. As I went through it, I was like, hey, here are my ideas. Crinkling bag for a fire. I had seen something about using cornstarch, which I don't have, and crunching it to make it sound like snow. And um, I was like, but I don't have that yet. So I don't know if it even works because sometimes things are recommended and they don't work. And it came back and was like, cornstarch is kind of messy. Why don't you just get some rice and socks? And so I happen to have, because I'm a mom that does laundry, I happen to have unmatched socks and plenty of rice in my house. So now this actually, I don't know if it'll block out the extra sound is like white noise, but like that's pretty good. And I'm excited to do this with my girls. Okay, I will keep working on this and let you know how it goes.